Great and welcome back once again, promotion aptitude test candidates. Tonight we are going to look at some new development concerning the promotion aptitude test. And stay tuned until the end of this video and see this new development that you need to know before you go and write your promotion aptitude test. You're most welcome once again. So let's just dive into tonight's topic. And before that, give the video a thumbs up or subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Support this tutorial with the Momo line on the screen. And let's dive into today's tutorial. Today we're looking at and one of the new things or one of the new establishment that was done in 2020. And you need to know it came in 2021 aptitude test. And I know definitely we are going to meet on this once again. So let's just dive into it. If you can hear from me in the comment section, indicate it in the comment section that you can hear from me. Let's just dive into it. Today we're looking at one new establishment that replaced a non-formal education in the year 2020. In the year 2020. And this acts at 1055. You need to know it before you go and write your promotion aptitude test. What was it about? It was about a complementary education agency. This was an agency that was established to replace a non-formal um, division that was under the Ministry of Education, and it now becomes a new agency. And its act was 1055, Complementary Education Agency. That was that was used to replace the non-formal education in 2021. So the Parliament um, of Ghana established this complementary education agency in the year 2020. The year 2020 at 1055, and established the complementary education agency, with its main purpose is to oversee the provision and administration of quality complementary education and to provide for matters relating to non-formal education. And this bill was signed and by the president, the then president, former president Manager, who signed this non-formal education new establishment, that is the Complementary Education Agency, that is the CEA. CEA. So anywhere you see in the promotion about talking about the CEA, capital CEA, then it's talking about the Complementary Education Agency, and its act was 1055. This act was passed and signed on December 2020 by the then president Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo. And the main objective of this agency is to promote and provide quality complementary education for all Ghanaians who have not gotten the benefit of enjoying formal education. So its main objective was to promote and, and provide quality complementary education for Ghanaian citizens who are less disadvantaged or who are disadvantaged or who didn't get the opportunity to be part of formal education. What were the functions of this agency? One of the functions of this agency was to provide a functional basic literacy education to disadvantaged group, the less privileged in the country. So another function of this agency was that the agency is to provide a complementary education pathways or opportunities in the formal education from primary to the tertiary for persons including out of school children and out of school children from the age of 8 to 14 years, the age of 8 to the less advantaged people. And it was very, very important that this agency was introduced as it was mining um, in the Ministry of Education as a division. Now it tends to be an agency that has the power, that has the backing, that has a regulatory position to provide a complementary basic education for those from the primary to the tertiary who are out of school from age 8 up to 14 years. So its function or another function is to provide occupational skills training for different trade groups. Different trade groups. You can talk about tailors, hairdressing, mason, carpentries, and the rest. So this agency was introduced to provide this education for the less privileged or the disadvantaged groups in the country. And more to the point, advise the minister on the complementary education accordance with the national development plans. So any plan that is taken, it is based on the national plan. It is not just taken wayward. Then another function that it performs is to formulate policies and guidelines to advance the complementary education in the country. So it is not the Ministry of Education to um, provide these guidelines, but this agency, with the help of the Ministry of Education, to formulate policies and guidelines on complementary education for the citizens in Ghana. Then develop the curriculum, the instructional materials, and the best practices for complementary education. So when we're talking about complementary education, about non-formal education, and you can get this from the informal sector like the hairdressing, the tailors, the mason, the carpenters, and the rest of the profession that this act came in to provide this education for this our citizens. Then coordinate and implement activities in the complementary education sector. Um, that is much of importance. And these are the things that the agency was to do. So this agency is more important about um, the in-service or the private sector, where it trains a lot of Ghanaian youth with a lot of skills, employable skills that will help them get or establish their own businesses when they come out from um, this training or these workshops. So it was to coordinate and implement activities in the complementary education sector, as I said, then monitor and evaluate the implementation of um, approved training activities in the complementary education sector. Then its main function too was that it will have to equip learners with knowledge, attitude, skills to enable the learners to improve the quality of their lives in their communities in lifelong learning framework. So these are the things that this complementary education agency brought about, and we need to learn something about it. Then design and promote strategies and programs for the conduct and the implementation of all form of complementary education. Determined the qualification, the standard, and other relevant criteria for the appointment of the staff of the agency. It is in the hands of this agency that you need to do this to help to help this agency move forward. So that is what you need to know about the complementary education agency. And this agency is very important, and it helps the Ghanaian youth in general. So those who are less advantaged, or those who are in the private sector or the informal sector, a lot of youth are trained in employable skills to help them also earn a living in Ghana. Now let's look at some of the key new development that you need to know, especially right from 2020 up to 2024. There are new development in the education sector that, if you have not come across this and you go to the promotion exams and comes, you may find yourself wanting. And that is why I've taken upon myself to align or to envisage this new development to you, so that you have a chance of passing your promotion exams. So one of the new policies on the teacher education reform led by the GTEC, or Ghana Tertiary Education, was Ghana Tertiary Education Commission, was through transforming the teaching, education, and learning. That is the T-TEL. The T-TEL stands for the Transforming Teaching, Education, and Learning. And how did this commission, or this body that was part of the Regulatory Body Act 2020 and 1023, why was it taking this initiative? One of the initiatives that it led was to it leads to the conversion of the colleges into universities. That is why now you see our colleges, the products that are coming out, they are running a 4-year bachelor degree programs at the various training colleges to help them equip with the teaching and learning skills before they come into our system to help us teach our learners. So one of the things that the GTEC did was to is through transforming teaching, education, and learning. And that is where it converted these colleges into universities, where they are offering a bachelor degree. So have it in mind. Then it also rolled out a new Bachelor of Education, teacher education curriculum to improve the quality of teachers for the basic education sector. So this is a new thing that was brought by the GTEC to help improve our education sector. Then let us look at another thing, another new thing that came out with the pre-tertiary curriculum reform through NACA. So this pre-tertiary curriculum reforms through NACA led to the design and the implementation of the new pre-tertiary education curriculum, that is the standard-based curriculum and the common core program, with a standards and assessment framework that was introduced. This is a new development that happened, and it's really improved our education sector that we need to know. So these are new things, these are new developments that are being introduced right from the year 2020 up to now. Now, another new thing that has happened in the education sector is the legal and the institutional and regulatory reforms that happened in the year 2020. And this led to the creation of an agency that combined the function of the National Accreditation Board and the National Teaching Council, the National Council for Tertiary Education, the National Council for Tertiary Education. These two bodies were combined to form the Ghana Tertiary Education Commission. So if in the promotion exam they ask you the two bodies that were combined to form the GTEC or the Ghana Tertiary Education Commission, one that is the National Accreditation Board, and the National Council for Tertiary Education. These were the two bodies that were merged together to form the Ghana Tertiary Education. And it has about 5 functions that it perform: general function, it has regulatory function, it has accreditation function, it has coordinating function, and the rest that you need to know. As time goes on, come and discuss about the key function of the GTEC. And this GTEC was the one that are causing a problem for the doctorates, emeritus, and the professors who are holding them without true academic. It is holding them responsible. If you have acquired your doctorate, not through appropriate means, GTEC will strip it off. So have it in mind. Then another new thing that happened in the education sector was the tertiary education reforms that led to the convention of the National Film and Television Institute and Ghana Institute of Journalism into a university. So these were separate bodies or separate institute, but because of the new thing that has happened in the tertiary institution, it was able to combine the the National Film and Television Institute, that is the NAFTI, and Ghana Institute of Journalism, that is, you have been hearing the GIG. So have it in mind, it converted it into a university, and now it is running programs. Then it also calls for the consolidation of the Kumasi campus of University of Education, that is WINIBA, and a few existing colleges of education into a technical teacher training university in Kumasi, and they are offering a very nice courses that helps the teachers, that develop the teachers in Ghana. And in addition to other governance and regulatory reforms also were also taken um, in this news development. So you need to know these things before you go and write your promotion exam. Now let's look at another new thing that came about. Another new thing that came about was the technical and vocational education and training reforms. Technical, vocational education and training reforms also came out. And this led to the establishment of the Ghana the Ghana Technical and Vocational Education Service. Ghana Technical and Vocational Education Service, and now become a new service. The new service now in the education sector is the Ghana Technical and Vocational Education Service. Like we have Ghana Education Service, it is also a new service that is mining the technical, vocational and education and training sector, that it is helping the Ghanaians to move forward. So with the realignment of the technical and vocational institutions to come under the Ministry of Education and create a technical and vocational education training service to govern what we call these technical and vocational institutions in Ghana. So have it in mind. So the operation or the operationalization of the pre-tertiary teacher professional and management development framework was also another new thing that was designed to be under the National Teaching Council, that is the NTC. So its main purpose was to design what do you call it, a pre-tertiary professional and management development framework for the Ghanaian teacher to help him or her develop well. And this led to the establishment of the teacher licensing and registration system in Ghana, and a framework for the teacher career progression based on the acquisition of skills and competencies that the teacher has. So we need to learn about this. So this new development, this regulatory body act brought all these things, brought all these new things. Despite the fact that the NTC was established in the year 2008, that is at 778, but it was given a regulatory backing in the year 2020 with the Act 1023. So have it in mind. And it gave NTC a lot of power to register teachers and to licensing teachers. Now, a new thing that was also introduced in the year 2020 was the introduction of supervision and inspection system throughout the country. And this was in the hands of formerly in the NIB, that is the National Inspectorate Board, now has been changed to the National Schools Inspectorate Authority. The National Schools Inspectorate Authority. So this led to the establishment of a new inspection framework, inspection tools, and revised inspection protocols, and in partnership with Ghana Development and Offshores. So it was a new thing that was introduced. That is why you see security supervisors or CISOs, when they come to your various schools, they don't molest you or they don't apply force. They need to use the new tools to help them improve education, but not to control teachers. No, they are the new protocols and the new tools that have been introduced in the year 2021 through the 2020 through this NACEA has improved what we call it, the supervision in Ghana. So have it in mind. Then we also have Ghana Partnership Schools. Ghana Partnership Schools. So these are new things that has come into the system, or new development that you need to know them before you go and write. So the Ghana Partnership Schools led to the Ministry of Education and Ghana Education partnering to some non-state actors to manage and deliver effective education service in the public senior high schools. So there were a lot of non-state actors or civil society organizations that partnered with Ghana Education Service and Ministry of Education to provide an effective education in the senior high school. So you need to know this. Then another new thing that happened in the year 2020 up to now was the Ghana Education Service institutional and human resource reforms. So, and this led to the streamline of the Ghana Education Service operations to increase efficiency and reduce the redundancy resulting from the basic education decentralization and the comprehensive reforms of the human resource. So that is why if you go to the ministry GS headquarters, where they were having a lot of divisions, now it has been streamlined to 4 or 5 divisions. That is the special education division, the basic education division, and or we have the schools and inspectorate division, administration and finance. These are the streamline of divisions in the headquarters that you need to know. So these things, these new development brought about these streamlines, and it's really helped Ghana Education Service to be efficient and effective. And the human resource system was very comprehensive, and it helped Ghana Education Service. Now, the new thing that also was part of this development or new development was ICT introduction and reforms. ICT was also incorporated into the curriculum or the new curriculum in the basic school that was fused into the basic school system, and it is very important. So it seeks to develop early desire and competencies in the children to use ICT. So ICT should be purely used in our basic schools and develop their competencies and skills right from the basic. And that is why these new laptops or these laptops were given to teachers, and most of the laptops are not good. So we have it. Then equip the pre-tertiary learners with ICT skills and infuse ICT into education management and transform teacher development and tertiary education through technology-based training. So all the teachers who are coming out from the various colleges were given a lot of training on ICT to equip them to be part, to equip them with ICT skills to help them teach learners or to help them develop learners to be part and develop their skills of computer literacy. So we need to inculcate this. We need to fuse these ICT tools into their learning. So at the early stage, if they have the interest, they have the competency, they have the skills, then at the highest level, they will use the ICT tools very well. Now let's look at the senior high schools or the secondary education reform that few things that were done at that place. One of the things that um, transformed the senior high school was the introduction of the free senior high school by the then government, that is Nanajo. And with the free senior high school, the Ministry of Education was seek to absorb all fees paid at the senior high school level and additionally expand the existing structures, the existing facilities, and build more to help learners have access to the free education. So expand the physical infrastructure, then improve the quality and promote skill development and equity in the senior high school. So these are the main things that you need to know. So when we are talking about the pillars of the secondary education, one is to absorb all fees at the senior high school level. Then two is to expand the physical infrastructure in the senior high school. That is the second one. And the third one is to improve quality. To improve quality. That is the third pillar. And the fourth pillar is to promote development and equity. Equity in the senior high school. Develop the learners or promote skills development. Promote skills development and equity, fairness in the senior high school. And it's very important that you look at this before you go and write the promotion aptitude test. Someone is saying, please, any small notes, any small notes. That's the note that I'm giving to you, James. So you can sit down and prepare your small notes on it, on these new things that have happened in the pre-tertiary education and the tertiary level. That is especially the GTech. Read something about the GTech. I'll come and do extensive video on the GTech. It's very important. That's what we have for you this evening, and I know it is much of importance that I share this information with you. Have a good night. We shall meet another time. And don't forget to give us your support, like this video. And if you are not supported yet, the Momo line is on the screen. Support us. And we are saying support. We are not saying we are not charging anything from you. If you support, we take it. If you don't support, we continue to provide you the quality that you deserve to pass your promotion exams. Have a good night, and we shall meet another time. Shalom.